Oh, Lamar Jackson, it has been a roller coaster season. It's almost like a movie, you know. You got those who hate on you, and you continue to prove the doubters wrong. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the foolish things that I have heard from the media this week on episode 8 of The Ignorance of the Media.
There ain't no grave can hold my body down. There ain't no grave can hold my body down.
Pistons, when they played against Michael Jordan, what did they do?
Beat him up.
They beat him up, and they said, let's take the fouls. Who cares? Take the technicals. That is, I think, the only way you're going to stop this guy. If I was you guys on defense, and I'm going to come up to you before the game, I'm going to go, look,
Just hit him.
When he has that ball in his hand, I don't care. Let him pitch it. Let him throw it. You knock the hell out of him as hard as you can and send a message, and let's get him up out of there.
So basically, he's only saying the only way to stop Lamar Jackson is by injuring him. Now, I give Tony Gonzalez credit. At least he is being honest because, you know, this is what most coaches and players are saying behind the scenes. But if Tony Gonzalez said this about Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, best believe he would not have a job. You know, if a child heard this and he plays pee-wee football or middle school football, he is going to think that it is okay to cheat or take cheap shots at other players. You know, this is why the media is toxic, because it's subliminally hurting our youth. Plus, I believe the media is under this agenda to help force Lamar Jackson out of the NFL to prove a point about dual threat quarterbacks. Almost all of the topics this week pertaining to Lamar Jackson was about his quad injury, and everybody was acting as if he got injured running the football when he clearly got injured throwing the football from the pocket, which ended up being a touchdown pass, and it shows you how good Lamar Jackson is in the pocket. But everybody acts like that didn't happen. To them, it's like, you know, it doesn't exist in their minds because they're trying to fit a narrative and an agenda.
And the last point to support Lamar Jackson is this. Do y'all know that in the last 5 games, Lamar Jackson hasn't even thrown for 250 yards?
Did you know that Lamar Jackson has 16 touchdown passes in the last 5 games? And that is not counting the Jets game on Thursday night.
I think it's his running, because I think the running sets up the passing. If it wasn't for his ability to run the football the way that he would, it would put more pressure on him to be a more accurate passer than he actually is. So it's what sets up everything. Yeah. And without that threat, he wouldn't be half the threat that he is as a quarterback. And that's why I believe the running is more pivotal than the passing when it comes specifically to him.
Excuse me, mother suckers. The last time I checked, isn't Stephen A. Smith an Aaron Rodgers fan? What makes Aaron Rodgers great? Yes, he throws a great deep ball. He is accurate. But most importantly, he is one of the best in the league at play action passes, which means that it's set up by the run. When Aaron Rodgers has a running game, he is his most dangerous. He is the most dangerous. Aaron Rodgers is also the most dangerous when he goes outside of the pocket. And another example, look at the San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers rely heavily on the running game. That's why they are second in the league when it comes to running the football. And what does that do? Set up play action so that Jimmy Garoppolo can have open receivers down the field. What about Kirk Cousins for the Minnesota Vikings? What is the Minnesota Vikings scheme? What do they rely on? The running game. The last time I checked, Kirk Cousins only threw for 70 yards passing in his first game because they had a great running game. When you look at Kirk Cousins, when he throws the ball down the field, you notice a lot of those plays come from play action. You know, Dalvin Cook and Madison, they're a great 1-2 punch. The difference between the Ravens and the other teams that I mentioned is that the Ravens' running threats just come from the quarterback and Mark Ingram. But when Stephen A. says, oh, the only reason Lamar Jackson is accurate is because he has a great running game, that's bullshit.
But he rushes, he's got 1,017 yards rushing. They have the #1 offense. They have the #1 running attack. And he is the team's leading rusher. So that's what you get me to work with.
Notice how Stephen A. never mentions the fact that Lamar Jackson leads the NFL in touchdown passes. He now has 33. When have you ever in history seen a guy run for 1,000 yards and lead the NFL in touchdown passes? That's Madden. That doesn't exist. It's a myth. And to Stephen A., that's like mind-boggling. And he can't fathom that. So he's like, oh, he has 1,000 rushing yards. And, that's the only reason he'll win the MVP. No. He is Lamar PlayStation Jackson. The Baltimore Ravens run the football more than any other team in the NFL. They throw the football 44% of the time, which is 32nd in the league. Yet Lamar Jackson still has the most touchdown passes than any starting quarterback in the NFL right now.
Judge it. I respect that. Here's my retort. When you talk about the ability to pass, like, for example, you think he's an exceptional passer. I do not. I think that he is having an exceptional season.
When he said that, I can see the hate in his eyes. Let me ask you guys a question. How often does Lamar Jackson underthrow wide receivers? I mean, how can Stephen A. tell that his arm is weak? Like, how do you know if Lamar Jackson has a weak arm? Just because Lamar Jackson throws with an unorthodox throwing motion, it does not mean he is not an exceptional passer. But this is a narrative that the media creates. I got an example. Mohamed Sanu, he played quarterback in college, but was told to change his position to wide receiver once he got into the National Football League. Yet recently, Mohamed Sanu showed that he can throw over 70 yards off his back foot.
Damn. 54. You know that's higher than most quarterbacks. Oh. 56. 56.
But the only reason he's playing wide receiver is because guys like Stephen A., Mel Kiper Jr., etc., they indoctrinate people into thinking that if you're an athletic quarterback, you cannot throw the football. And people actually believe that garbage. Lamar Jackson has had 7 games with 3 or more touchdown passes. That's the most in the NFL. He has thrown for 5 touchdown passes 3 times in the NFL, which is most in the league. He has had 2 games with the perfect passer rating this year. He is 1 touchdown shy of breaking Vinny Testaverde's, touchdown passing record for the most touchdown passes in franchise history. But at this rate, I'm beating a dead horse. I make these videos to bring awareness to people, to show you guys that the media thinks that you guys are stupid. They think you guys do not know what you're talking about as far as football. They want you guys to believe that they know everything about football and that they have the biggest platform in the world. But they're just like the Madden game. They get worse and worse every year.
Like a lunatic, I'm about to blow, almost losing it. Confused again, that's why I keep on shooting them in the back while they turn around. I'm abusing them, more suicidal than Whitney Houston. I'm getting through this, can you feel the heat? It's getting human, not you. Me, bitch, I'ma do this. Don't you ever tell me that I'm bullshit. Ever since I hit the mic, I blew, bitch. Who knew this? I'ma use it. Yeah, fucked up, new movement. Yeah, time keeps on ticking, keeps slipping away. I can't wait for it all to go away. It keeps on going so goddamn insane. Yeah, can't wait for the day that it goes shit. Bitch, this is it. I'm killing it. The fuse is lit. So fucking sick. I'm gonna flip. Fuck all this shit. Better admit it's over, bitch.